Since the name of the chapter light, reflection and refraction, I am first going to discuss meaning of these three terms, light, reflection and refraction. So the first term is light. If I ask you what is light? Light is a form of energy that produces in us the sensation of vision. I can see this marker. Because of light. But how? Light from the surrounding sources fall on this marker, gets reflected. After reflection, enter into my eyes. When light enter into the eyes, light fall on retina. An image is formed on retina. When light falls on retina, a kind of electrical chemical impulse is generated. We can say a signal is generated. So light gets reflected, enter into the eye, falls on retina, inside the eyeball, and generates what? A kind of signal. And that signal is sent to brain via optic nerve. So eye और brain का connection है with the help of nerve, and that nerve is called optic nerve. And when these signals are sent to brain, we can have the sensation of vision. So the meaning of the term light, if I ask you what is light? Light is a form of energy that produces in us the sensation of vision. Now what kind of wave is light? Light is a type of transverse electromagnetic wave. It is a form of energy. It is a type of wave, transverse electromagnetic wave. About transverse wave, electromagnetic wave, it is already discussed in class 9. But you should know the slight meaning of these terms, like transverse wave. Transverse wave, if you can memorize, transverse wave is a type of wave that consists of crest and trough. I am not going to discuss in detail, but if you can memorize that, transverse wave consists of crest and trough. And electromagnetic waves are the waves that are generated because of vibration of electric and magnetic field, and these waves can pass through vacuum. So electromagnetic waves are the waves that can pass through vacuum. Transverse wave are the waves that consist of crest and trough. And what kind of wave is light? Light is a type of transverse electromagnetic wave. Now the speed of light. The speed of light in air or vacuum is taken as 3 × 10⁸ meter per second. For convenience, in numericals it is taken as 3 × 10⁸ meter per second. But the speed of light in vacuum is slightly higher than the speed of light in air. But for convenience, it is taken as 3 × 10⁸ meter per second. The speed of light in glass, if I ask you, it is 2 × 10⁸ meter per second. If I ask you what is the speed of light in water, it is 2.25 × 10⁸ meter per second. Different media, through different media, if light travels, the speed of light will be different. Speed of light is maximum in vacuum, and in other medium it is slower than vacuum. So if I ask you what is the speed of light in glass, 2 × 10⁸ meter per second. Speed of light in water is 2.25 × 10⁸ meter per second. Now about light, you should know one more thing. Light shows dual nature, double nature. Light behaves as a stream of particles, and that's particles of light and particles of any kind of electromagnetic wave said to be what? Photons. So simple term, photon. If I ask you what are photons, the particles of light are called photon, or the particles of electromagnetic waves are called photons. So dual nature of light, light behaves as stream of particles and light behaves as a wave. You already know what type of wave is light? Transverse electromagnetic wave. Now we'll discuss the term reflection of light. If you look at here, you can easily understand what is reflection of light. This is a plane mirror. If I allow a ray of light to fall on the mirror, or if I allow light to fall on the mirror, it bounces back into the same medium from which it was coming. It bounces back into the same medium, and this phenomenon is called reflection of light. If you look at the definition here, what is reflection of light? It is the phenomenon of bouncing back of light in the same medium from which it is coming after striking the surface of any object or mirror. So light is falling on a surface, light is bounced back into the same medium from which it was coming. So this phenomenon is reflection of light. After reflection of light, the term that we are discussing, refraction of light. It is another property of light. Look at here, try to understand. This is a piece of glass. We can consider it as glass slab. If I allow a ray of light to pass from air to glass, it undergoes a change in direction. Again, when the ray of light is passing from glass to air, there is change in direction. And this phenomenon of changing direction of light rays, when light rays pass from one medium to another medium, one optical medium to another optical medium, this phenomenon is called refraction of light. Now look at the definition. It is the phenomenon by virtue of which when a ray of light, or if a ray of light passes from one medium to another, one optical medium more properly, one optical medium to another, it undergoes a change in direction, and this is refraction of light. We should know the meaning of some other important terms like ray of light. If I ask you what is a ray of light? When light travels through a medium, especially the homogeneous medium, when light travels through a medium, it travels in a straight line. It travels in a straight line path, and that straight line path along which light travels can be represented by a straight line with arrowhead. This arrowhead represents the direction of propagation. So if I ask you what is a ray of light, it is the path of propagation. It is the path of propagation of light in a medium. So if it is asked what is ray of light, the path of propagation of light in a medium is called ray of light, and a ray can be represented by a straight line with arrowhead. So this straight line with arrowhead representing what? A ray of light. Next term that you should know, beam of light. If I ask you what is a beam of light, a bundle of light rays is called a beam of light. A bundle of light rays is called a beam of light, like this one. This is a bundle of light ray, and this is actually the parallel beam of light. This is parallel beam of light. Here the distance between the light rays remain the same as the light rays proceed forward. Then here, as the light rays proceed forward, the distance between the light rays keep on decreasing. Such beam is called convergent beam of light. So, types of beam I am discussing. Beam of light, a bundle of light rays is called beam of light. This is one bundle where the parallel light rays are there, so it is called parallel beam. Here the gap between the light rays keep on decreasing, they converge at a point, and thereby this beam is called convergent beam. If the distance between the light rays keep on increasing as the light rays proceed forward, they appear to come out from one point, then that beam is called divergent beam. It is called divergent beam. So I discussed here what is a ray of light. The path of propagation of light in a medium is called a ray of light. Then beam of light. A bundle of light rays is called beam of light. There are three types of beam of light: parallel beam, convergent beam, and divergent beam. You should note down these definitions. Now you should know what is the meaning of the term mirror. Mirror, it is a highly polished reflecting surface. A highly polished reflecting surface is called a mirror, and the mirror that we know, most of them consist of a glass sheet and which is polished from one side. So this is the glass sheet and is polished from one side by shiny metal or some alloys. For convenience, we draw a straight line to represent the glass sheet, and these oblique lines represent the polish on the mirror. If polish is on this side, light gets reflected from the other side. So, what is a mirror if I ask you? A mirror is a highly polished reflecting surface. If it is a flat reflecting surface like this, it is called plane mirror. It is called plane mirror. Mirrors may be the part of sphere, which is, if it is part of a sphere and polished from outer side, this mirror is called concave mirror. If it is a part of a sphere and polished from inside, then it is called convex mirror. It is called what? Convex mirror. So this is concave mirror, this one convex mirror. Concave mirror polished from outer side and reflection of light takes place from inner side, which is also called concave surface. Here polish is from inner side and reflection of light takes place from outer side. This outer surface, bulging out surface, is also called convex surface. So the meaning of the term mirror: a highly polished reflecting surface is a mirror. If it is a flat reflecting surface, it is called plane mirror. If the mirrors are the part of sphere, they are called spherical mirrors. And two important types of spherical mirror: concave mirror and convex mirror. Now look at here. If I consider M dash to be a plane mirror and P is the point source of light, anything that emits light is called a source of light. So here the source is point source of light, and a ray of light falls here at a point on the mirror. Let the point be O. This ray of light bounced back along OQ. So here PO is called incident ray. OQ is called reflected ray. Point O is called point of incidence. Point O is called what? Point of incidence. And at this point, if I draw a perpendicular on the mirror, NO is the perpendicular on the mirror at this point, point of incidence. NO is called normal. So if I ask you what is incident ray, a ray of light that falls on a reflecting surface at a point is called incident ray. Now what is reflected ray? The ray of light which gets bounced back after incidence is called what? Reflected ray. If I ask you what is normal, the perpendicular drawn at the point of incidence on the reflecting surface or mirror is called what? Normal. Now this is incident ray, this is normal. The angle between incident ray and normal is called angle of incidence. The angle between reflected ray and normal is called angle of reflection. So here angle PON is angle of incidence. Angle QON is the angle of reflection. Angle of reflection. So PO incident ray, OQ reflected ray, NO normal, this angle of incidence, this angle of reflection, and we already discussed that M dash is the mirror. Here it is plane mirror. So this diagram shows reflection of light by plane mirror. Now if I ask you, what is the meaning of the term reflection of light? Reflection of light is a property of light due to which a ray of light is sent back into the same medium from which it is coming. This ray of light is coming from a medium, is sent back into the same medium after being obstructed by a surface. Or we can say bouncing back of light after striking a surface is called reflection of light. Now we'll discuss laws of reflection of light. Laws of reflection of light. There are two important laws of reflection of light. And the first one, this angle of incidence is always equal to the angle of reflection. Angle I is always equal to the angle R. Whenever there is reflection of light, angle of incidence, that is angle between incident ray and normal, is always equal to the angle of reflection, that is angle between reflected ray and normal. And second point, the incident ray, the reflected ray and the normal all lie in the same plane. Now try to understand this one. This is a surface. This is supposed to be the surface of a plane mirror. If a ray of light falls here, this ray of light is called incident ray. After falling here, if it gets bounced back, then this ray of light is called reflected ray. So this is incident ray, this is reflected ray, and we can draw a perpendicular here. That perpendicular is the normal. According to the laws of reflection, it is said that if this is the incident ray, this is the reflected ray, and this is the normal, all these lie in the same plane, this imaginary plane. So the incident ray, the reflected ray and the normal, they are lying in the same plane. Okay, so if I ask you what are the two laws of reflection, they are angle of incidence is always equal to the angle of reflection, and second one, the incident ray, the reflected ray and the normal, they lie in the same plane. They lie in the same plane like this: incident ray, reflected ray and normal, and this is the plane. And more properly, that plane is perpendicular to the reflecting surface. So these are the laws of reflection of light. Now we'll discuss what is an image. Image related to this chapter, the term is related to this chapter here, light reflection and refraction. To understand the meaning of this term, you have to look at this diagram. This is a concave mirror. If I allow a beam of light to fall on this mirror, after reflection, the light rays converge at a point. After reflection, these light rays converge at a point, and this point is called image. This is a convex mirror. This one is convex mirror. If I allow a beam of light to fall on this mirror, if I allow a parallel beam of light to fall on this mirror, after reflection, the light rays appear to diverge from a point. These light rays appear to diverge from a point, and this point is called image. Similarly, in case of lens, this one is convex lens. I am allowing a parallel beam of light to pass through the lens. After refraction, the light rays converge at a point. This is another type of lens, concave lens. If I allow a parallel beam of light to pass through this lens, the light rays appear to diverge from a point. The light rays appear to diverge from a point. This point is called image. Now, what is the meaning of the term image? Image is a point at which two or more light rays converge after reflection or refraction of light. Here, bending of light rays, when light rays pass from one medium to another medium, is called refraction. Here reflection, bouncing back, here refraction. We will discuss later on. Now, image can also be defined in another way. What is an image? Image is a point from which two or more light rays after reflection or refraction appear to diverge. So if I ask you what is an image? Image is a point at which two or more light rays converge after reflection or refraction, or from which light rays appear to diverge after reflection or refraction. So this one is real image. Why this one is called real image? Because light rays actually intersect here after reflection. And here virtual image. Why virtual image? Here light rays do not intersect. Actually, there is no actual intersection. The light rays appear to diverge. So if I ask you what are the two types of images, one is real image and the other is virtual image. So what are the two types of images? Real image and virtual image. Real image is formed by actual intersection of light rays. Virtual images are formed by imaginary intersection of light rays. Real images can be obtained on a screen. ऐसा इमेज जिसको स्क्रीन पे लिया जा सकता है, that is real image. And virtual images cannot be obtained on a screen. One more thing, real images are inverted, upside down, and virtual images are erect. So I told you three differences between real image and virtual image. First one, real image is formed by actual intersection of light rays. Virtual image is formed by imaginary intersection of light rays. Second one, real images can be obtained on a screen. Virtual images cannot be obtained on a screen. Third one, real images are inverted, upside down. Virtual images are erect. And the fourth one, if you can see the diagram, you can understand. Real images are formed in front of mirrors and behind the lens, and virtual images are formed behind the mirror and in front of the lens. So we discussed there are two types of images. They are real images and virtual images. And we also discussed the definitions and the difference between the two types of images. They are real image and virtual image. Now we'll discuss how to draw ray diagram to show the formation of image by plane mirror for point source of light or point sized object. For that, we can draw a plane mirror. You can mark this as M dash. Let P be the point source or point object placed in front of the mirror, and for convenience we are marking a point behind the mirror exactly at the same distance as the object. So a point has been marked for convenience, and for the formation of image minimum two rays are considered. So from this point I am considering two light rays falling on the mirror. These two light rays are falling on the mirror. After reflection, these two light rays will be divergent in nature, and if you produce them back, they will appear to diverge from this point. So these two light rays will be divergent in nature, and you can do one thing. You can start drawing from here this line for the first incident ray, and after reflection this light ray appear to diverge from here. Similarly, for the second one, you can draw like this for the second one, and the light ray appear to diverge from here. So both the light rays after reflection appear to diverge from this point, so we can consider this point P dash as the image of P. Let the reflected rays be O, Q or O dash, Q dash. These are the reflected light rays. If you want, you can draw normal here. Normal is a perpendicular drawn at the point of incidence. So this diagram represents the formation of image by a plane mirror for point-sized object or source. So here P is point-sized object or source of light, and P dash is the image. P dash is the image. You should draw this diagram properly in your notebook. Now we'll discuss how to draw ray diagram to show the formation of image by plane mirror for extended source or extended object. For that, we can do one thing. We can draw the plane mirror vertically, and we can place an object in front of it or the source in front of it. This time the source is extended one. Let this be AB, and the mirror be MM dash. So instead of drawing image for each and every point of the object, since it is extended object or source, we will try to draw image for topmost point, that is A, and bottommost point, that is B. So from point A, if I allow a ray of light incident normally or perpendicularly on the mirror, the ray of light will retrace its path. From this point, if I draw a ray of light obliquely, then this light ray will reflect in such a way that both the reflected light rays, you can mark a point behind the mirror as A dash, exactly at the same distance as the object is in front. So distance of A from the mirror and distance of A dash from the mirror should be equal. If you mark this point, it will be easier to draw this diagram. So from here the light is reflected along this direction, and from here you can draw the reflected light ray like this. So for point A, the image is A dash. Similarly, for point B, we can draw a ray of light incident normally, retraces its path, another ray of light incident obliquely, and both the light rays, we can do one thing. We can again mark another point as B dash, and from here first reflected light ray and second reflected light ray. So both the light rays get reflected. So AB is the object and A dash, B dash is the image. Since it is virtual image, you can use dotted line to represent virtual image. So this is the plane mirror, this is the extended object, and we have drawn image for topmost and bottommost point, and we have drawn the complete image like this. So if I ask you 4 characteristics of the image formed by plane mirror, if you look at the image formed by a plane mirror, the 4 characteristics are: first one, image distance is equal to the object distance. Image distance is equals to object distance. First characteristic. Second one, size of object and size of image are the same, so we can write size of image is equal to the size of object. And the third one, since there is no actual intersection of light rays, we can say that the image is virtual, and we know that virtual images are erect, so we can write virtual and erect image. Now another important characteristic, that the image is laterally inverted, and that lateral inversion you cannot see in this diagram. I am giving one example. If you draw letter B on a page and if you try to observe it in a mirror, you will see that the image of the B appears like this. If you observe the letter C in mirror, it will appear like this. So this effect, this phenomenon is called lateral inversion. So we can say that the image is laterally inverted. The image is laterally inverted. That means right side appears to be left and left appears to be right. So if I ask you what are the four characteristics of the image formed by plane mirror, image distance is equal to the object distance, size of image is equal to the size of object, the image is virtual and erect, the image is laterally inverted. That means the right side of the object appears to be the left side of the image, and the left side of the object appears to be right side of the image, and this is lateral inversion.